All right, everybody, welcome back this fine Monday night to another episode of Let's Talk About Lego. Tonight you are being hosted by the Brickstop and Brick Monarch, and we are going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite themes, Aquazone. So let me get Brick Monarch on here, and we will dig in. We will be doing a deep dive into Aquanauts.
What's up, man?
How you doing, bro?
Good.
Awesome. I just wanted to say hello to everyone joining. We got a few people jumping on already. Fooling with Bricks, welcome.
What's up, man?
We got Drew. I was saying his game, or not gamer tag. I always say that. It's the
What's up, Evan?
the name tag, whatever you call it. What do you call it on your user handle? Anyway, Drew. Yeah, he's in here. It's one of his favorite themes, so he was excited about that. All right. Yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in. Talking about Aquazone. And we'll be covering both the original, first release, 1995 to 1996. We're talking about both the Aquanauts and the Aqua Sharks tonight, so we'll cover both of them there. But yeah.
So, Jason? What was your first initial thoughts, man, when this theme came out?
Sure. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. I got a little bit onto Lego a little later than you did. So I didn't quite grow up with the same set of stuff you did. So Aquazone and all the Aquanaut stuff, I actually saw, before I had a Lego collection, I saw it at a friend's house. And my buddy was building like a custom Aquanaut sub thing. And I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And that was actually the first time I had seen like a bin of Lego, like a bucket. He poured out like a gallon bucket and had all the, Royal Knights parts, Paradisa, all the old school 90s stuff, the current stuff. That's awesome. I saw this aqua, yellow printed panels, blue trans windshield pieces, and he's putting this together. I'm like, I went home that night and I was like, Mom, we need Lego. We need like Lego.
Like a lot of it.
Like and that like sparked in my brain to like, and that's really when I really geared into getting obsessed with Lego as like about a 10-year-old kid. So so Aquanauts is like some of my first exposure to how vast Lego's like realms were, because I didn't really have enough. I mean, there was no internet back then, so
Well, there was. It just
what
wasn't what it is today.
95, bro. I mean, I guess you're right.
There's no dial-up, man.
Fair enough. So my first thoughts are when I saw it was, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Hands down.
Yeah. I can't remember. I want to say I was like 14 or 15 years old when these came out. And I was blown away. I was blown away by, the overall style of it and the fact that it was underwater, and the color was really good. The color was attractive. The imagery was very attractive. The crystals, the chrome crystals.
Yep.
Those I've been collecting those. Every time I see somebody's got one or two on Bricklink, I buy them. I've got like a whole handful of them now.
Nice. They're such a good piece.
It is. It's a great piece. I love that piece.
And it was introduced in this theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, great piece. But I described them kind of like they took all of the cool things about space and incorporated them into this theme and put it underwater.
Yeah.
Like, it's got magnets and arms and hinges and trans windshields, and
I like the little like side pontoons. Like the Sea Sprint 9.
Yes.
I absolutely love those pieces.
They're so cool.
They are.
Yeah.
And I've been hoarding the pieces for Aquazone for a while. At least the Aquanauts.
Yeah.
The big trans blue pieces.
Yep.
And all the yellow, the hinge panels with the prints on them, and like the little pontoon tube things. I got like bags of them. So eventually, sometime, I will put them all back together. Now, when they did come out, I did have all of the first wave from 95.
Those panels there, the printed ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I did have all of the 95 wave and parts of the 96 wave.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and I had those were new. Those were brand new, ordered from the Lego catalog.
Right.
Mini book where you like fill it out and mail it in with a check.
Dude, nostalgia much? Wait for it.
Yes.
And
they'd give you like enough space to order like 10 sets.
Like 2 full themes.
Yeah.
So good, bro.
I did that quite a bit. Well, you want to jump into some of these sets? You want to start with 95?
Yeah, for sure. What do we got in 95?
All right. Well, I tell you what. Why don't we start with the Aquanauts?
Yeah.
And we'll run through 95 and 96.
Okay.
And then we'll jump in if there's time. We'll jump in and hit the Aqua Sharks.
Yeah, that's great. Let me read a couple comments and we'll jump into the sets. Fooling with Burke says, I remember these coming out in my dark ages and they nearly brought me back. Nearly. They should have.
Yeah, phenomenal.
If anything would have, man. Lady Burke says, kids these days have no idea. I know. You call at home. You did the call at home orders from the phone. My mom did a couple for me.
Yeah.
Or you did I would fill out order forms and sometimes never, get the money enough together to buy some of the stuff. But I remember putting this number and the price next to it.
The hopes and dreams of aspiring children.
Yeah. It's different, just a completely different time.
Been there.
But, yeah. Let's jump into the sets. I have a couple pictures, but not, unfortunately, I didn't have too many of the boxes. I have the big one we can look at. I'll pull it down from the shelf. But yeah, let's just talk about them and I'll pull up what I can find. So.
All right. There was one that I wanted to talk about specifically that was kind of an oddball.
Okay.
Set number 1822, Sea Claw 7. It was under a limited release.
Yeah.
And was not one that was really featured in all of the little mini books and stuff, which was
not at all
odd.
It's a very strange set, and it's built differently a little bit than the other ones too.
Yeah, a lot more black.
Yeah, and the Sea Claw 7 does have an actual claw out on the front and everything,
which was a little bit more like the style of the Aqua Sharks at the time.
Yes, and even way more the style of the Stingrays 3 years later, because they have all those features on there.
It almost looks like it should have been part of the Hydronauts later on.
I agree. I feel like they had kind of maybe gotten inspired by that a little bit maybe and made the whole Hydronauts line after that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But starting with the primaries.
Yes.
In the 1995, the Sea Sprint 9. Simple, great little set with the claw coming off the front.
Yep.
2 pontoons.
See if I can find that.
6125 is the set number.
It's very simple, but it's really a great set.
Yeah, 32 pieces, $4 when it released.
We're talking about this guy right here.
Yep.
You get one of the new printed circular tiles. You get one of my favorite pieces, which is that black short half fence. I don't know why I like those parts so much, but I love them. You get a trans orange propeller and the flippers they put on here so that you could carry them around without having to wear them inside.
Which was a nice touch.
Yeah, it's fun. They fell off.
Side note, I love that little part too.
It's such a good
piece. Every time I dig in the random black bin and find one, I pull it out and set it aside so I can look at it later.
The special parts area.
Yeah, dude, I've got 14 special parts areas right now. There's parts all over
I've been there,
All over
man.
the shop. But yeah,
It's a good
anyway,
piece, though.
that's a great little set. Released at
Yeah.
$4.
Can't beat it.
32 pieces total.
Yeah.
Phenomenal little set. It was very simple. It was so simple. I think I
Still
want
had
to
all-
say the base plate of that was a 4x6 plate in black, and then you built the front, the back, and then the side pieces that held the little pontoon jets on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it came with, it's a perfect representation of the theme though, because like I was saying, it has the printed little sub tile. It's got the commander, who apparently is the guy with the the freckles and the red headband.
Yeah, there's a red headband, and it's got a C in the center, like it's captain.
Okay, I didn't even look closely enough to see that. That's awesome.
I featured it in the imagery for the posts that shows the captain and his sidekick cutting the crystal out from
Yeah,
the octopus.
I love that. Yeah,
You can see it really clear in that image.
that's awesome.
But yeah, that was a great little set. I want to say when they first came out, I maybe had 2 or 3 of them because they were so cheap and they were great little, side subs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a fantastic set. Side note, I do have the original Mania magazine when it came out, so we can look through that a little bit too. I just found that.
I have the original 1995 poster that came in the base set, and I believe it came with the what was the Crystal Explorer sub.
I should have.
It was like the poster. It's like an 18x24. I have it, but it's in storage.
I have one upstairs that I forgot I had. I should have brought it down.
That's a great poster. I'm going to put it in a really nice frame.
Isn't the shot of the guys digging the crystal out with the knives from that poster?
Yes.
Yeah. Great shot. That's such an amazing, I don't know. There's something about that. It looks so good.
That was back when Lego photographed the toys in an actual themed build.
Right.
That was where the box covers came from. All the images that you saw in the books. That would have been the job to have, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been so much fun, man. Because they would set it up with the big, like, cliffs and stuff. There was some Photoshop a little bit, but back then they didn't have as much of that stuff available, so.
There was no Photoshop. It was Corel Draw back then, I think.
Okay. I knew it was something. I was...
Photoshop CS2 was out when I was in college, and that was, like, in 2003, 2004.
Okay. I think people now,
8 years prior.
How I was using the term Photoshop is just the photo editing, which is how people use it now. But you're right. Photoshop is the actual program, not a term necessarily. So, yeah, man, that would have been a cool job. Yol Bricks says, Aquazone is great. 6100. So strange though. Minifigure that doesn't match the other factions. Reverse Aquanauts color scheme branded as Hydronauts. I think that was the one. Is that an Aqua Shark set? 6100?
6100.
Yeah, take a look at that one.
Well, it's not in 95 or 96.
Is it a gap set between the two?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I think I know what he's talking about. I think it comes with an Aqua Shark with like a trans neon hook, and it does have like an Aqua Shark logo, but it looks like it's an Aqua. It looks more like it belongs to one of the Hydronaut, or no, the Aqua Raiders sets, which came like a couple years later. So you know how we were talking about that Blacktron set that had like colors from Blacktron 2, kind of like it was almost a bridge set?
Yeah.
Between the two, I think that's what he's talking about. It's a funny little set, and it looks like it's a kind of mashup. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure 100% which one that is right offhand.
Okay, well, if you find it, you'll probably recognize it. It's a wacky little set. Harrisburg says Photoshop's been around since 1988.
Yeah, that could have been. That could be accurate. I didn't follow history on Photoshop. I just know that when I was in college, I was using CS2.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like sometimes I say something and then I'm like, yo, like, remember when I was like, just earlier, I was like, there was no internet back then. I was like, yeah, there was. It's just not for me. So in my
there was only a few kids that had internet in '95,
right.
man.
Right.
That was back when you used the social media platform called ICQ. It was before MySpace.
Yeah.
It was like a chat platform.
Chat rooms. That was what it was back then.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah.
So Drew says correct. I think it was 1990. 98? 1998? All right.
Yeah.
Photoshop's cool, like whatever. But let's move on to some more.
Yeah. Side note. Harris Bricks also said that Photoshop had been around since 1988.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of interesting books out.
Harris Bricks does?
Yeah.
Oh. I've seen some of his photos of some of the stuff he works on, which is amazing.
Yeah, like if you go to his Instagram profile, I'm almost 100% sure. Crystal and I was just talking about this the other day. I can't hear her. She's yelling at me. Oh, no, it wasn't. It's not Harris. It's not Harris. I'm sorry, Harris, but you do have some amazing builds.
I know he's got phenomenal builds.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ice Planet thing is what he's working on right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm following a few people very closely on both platforms, Facebook and Instagram, so I'm sorry for the confusion.
Got it.
The Ice Planet terrain that he's working on is sick.
Yeah, it's next level. I can't wait to see more of what he's got for that, because I think he did a massive Fabuland Island, which I know you're not a fan of, but I'm sure you're a fan of his work, but not Fabuland as a theme. But he did an awesome castle too.
Yeah. The castle was what he was working on here not too long ago. There's still photos floating around on it.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. So check out Harris Bricks. He's got some awesome stuff. What guy were you talking about has the books?
It was Jeff. Jeff Works. That was who it was.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but he's got some good books.
Well, check both of those guys out because they have great content, and that's what we like. So take a look. Yolbrick says, "Yep," and the Aquanaut blue visor and the scheme. So that weird set we were just talking about, I was describing it correctly. I don't have a picture of it, but it's this weird set that floats in between the releases of the end of Aquazone and
what was the set number on
that? It was, let me pull it up real quick. 6100. It's almost like a crossover set between Aqua Raiders and
that was a weird.
Isn't that weird?
Set.
It's a funky little set.
It's kind of ugly.
I think it comes with a cool minifig though.
Yeah, the trans neon blue visor.
Yeah,
on that is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a super cool visor. What's the next set in line?
Let's see. They were all. The next one in line is the Crystal Explorer sub 6175.
Yeah, this is your standard Lego Aquazone set,
which is it's a great set. This one is an awesome set.
Yeah, this was the one you wanted if you're we always talk about this, but this is the one if you weren't going to get any other ones, but you wanted to spend a little money in this theme, this is the one to pick up. It represents the theme really, really well. It encapsulates everything about it. This guy here.
Yeah. Came with two of the crystals, the octopus, the trans neon container. You got your set of mags, comes with a compass.
Yeah, a working compass.
Right back there on the back corner behind the printed wall, the little panel, the printed panel on the back side. It's got that 3x3x3 quarter sphere piece that was used in a lot of space stuff. But
okay.
I want to say that this was the first one that was released in yellow.
Oh, this right here?
Yeah, that funky corner. It's 3x3x2.
Yeah. The Boulder River Retreat or whatever it's called, the Native American one. They built a boulder that falls out of it with those pieces.
Yeah, but weren't they on like tan or something?
Light gray, yeah.
Or light gray? Yeah.
Yeah. I had that back there, I think, last week. But yeah. Yeah, it's a cool piece. It's weird.
Yeah, I was I specifically looked that piece up a couple of years ago on Bricklink, buying the yellow ones and buying white ones.
Okay.
For my solar snooper, my ice snooper.
Nice.
I use them on the front end of that as well.
I think there might be 2 on the C-Claw 7, but I can't remember for sure.
Was that a 96 release? Or no,
yeah.
No, that was. I don't know if they're on that set or not.
Yeah, I can't remember. I built it like a couple months ago, and I thought I saw them on there, but it's a weird set, like we were saying, so I don't remember. But yeah, those are cool pieces. I love those parts.
Yeah,
but,
they lock in a lot of little intricate stuff and give you a nice polished exterior look.
Definitely.
That's why I love them. I love pieces like that do that.
Yeah. Which one was that? Crystal Explorer sub?
Yeah, the Crystal Explorer sub.
I have an alternate name for that actually too.
What's the alternate name?
It's weird. It's Aqua DSR V2, like the Roman numeral 2. So I don't know what those letters stand for, but it was listed as that as an alternate name for it. So weird.
That's cool.
Yeah. I have a couple other ones too. Oh, the Undersea Scooter. No, sorry, not that one. The Sea Sprint 9. Alternate name for that set was the Aquanaut Octopod, which is interesting because that was actually, isn't that either a name or an alternate name for one of the Blacktron sets?
I think so. And I think we had a conversation about the Octo in it. And then we decided that, yes, it did have 4 sides on the piece. So it's like a total of 8, making it the octagon.
Right. Drew says it also was called Neptune 3, which is kind of a cool name and ties in with the base.
That's cool.
He says also first quarter sphere for sure. You were saying, Andrew.
Yeah, in yellow.
Yeah, in yellow. Yeah. Yeah, great set. Solid. Two Aquanauts in that set.
2. Yeah.
2. Yeah.
2 of those.
And the octopus.
You got two sets of the or you got a set of the chrome spear tip thing.
Little torpedoes.
You got the chrome a pair of the chrome daggers and 2 of the chrome crystals.
Wonderful. Love it all.
Yeah.
I love those. Yeah. I always loved, equipping one guy with the knife on the little hook in the back and then one of the torpedoes and making sure every one of them was, if I had enough to
I've been buying those little chrome daggers too. Whenever I see them, somebody's got them, I always grab them.
Yeah. Drew says chrome greater. Yeah. With the greater sign. It's so good, dude.
I love those.
Yeah. Good set though, man.
Yeah. It's a great set.
Yeah. I love it.
And then I'm not sure. Let's see. Did the diver sets weren't out yet, were they?
I actually wrote those down because I was going to talk about really quickly at the end the different spin-offs and stuff we got from this theme. They came out in 1999, so we're a good 5 year or 4 years.
Okay, so let me ask you this: was this the first octopus?
It was. I looked that up today. Yeah, first time we see the octopus, and we don't see him again. Well, I think we only have. Isn't there only one recolor of him? There's a dark red one.
There was a dark red, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a dark red. I should have looked into that more, but 2009 Pirates had a few dark red ones on them.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Atlantis had some dark red ones too. I don't remember.
Yeah, probably. So in 1995, the only place that you could get the octopus piece was from the Crystal Explorer sub and the base, the Neptune Discovery Lab.
In 1995?
Yeah.
Is the 96 the one that comes with the little minifig pack?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because does he show up in that too?
I don't even see it in 96.
I thought he was in that.
In Aqua Accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Aqua Accessories. That is a 96 release.
So the next year you could get him in that too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dark
but
red.
In 1995, you didn't see 96 coming.
Sure.
So you
Yeah.
had to jump on that. That's the mentality back
Right.
then as a kid. You're like, oh my God, I got to get all this or I'm going to miss it.
Right. Because you didn't know, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, though, I will give them credit back then. I believe an overall theme for the most part, well, that's not necessarily true. I was going to say seem to stick around longer than some of the stuff today. But that's not, they usually have about the same lifespan. It just seems
Yeah.
like some of those older sets, they just like transcended like 5, 6 years. And now it's like, boom, if you don't get it this year, it comes out. You might miss it when it's going out next year. Bye.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hello, everyone, says ABC Builds. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah. What's up, man?
And Drew says it came in dark red, black, and weird glow in the dark white. I think that rings a bell. I don't remember what set that came on, though.
Yeah. I don't remember that at all.
Either. I'm not sure. Yeah. Is it like did it come in like the weird ogle, like undersea alpha teen stuff in that color?
I mean, maybe.
I
That
would
would
have
make
to look
sense
that
if
up.
it did.
Someone, if you're interested in looking up that in the chat, that'd be awesome to find out where the glow in the dark, what set the glow in the dark octopus came in. And if I have one, because I don't think I do.
You better get on it.
Better get on it.
Well, moving on to the most amazing set out of the entire theme is the Neptune Discovery Lab.
Dude.
On the 2 base plates that are raised.
Dude. It's so good. Let me pull the set down and we'll just take a look at it.
Yeah, let's do that.
One of these live streams, every single box behind me is going to fall on my head.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not that concerned about it. But, all right, so here we go. Here it is.
Oh, man, look at that beast.
Isn't that beautiful? That's it right there. The Neptune Discovery Lab, which had an alternate name, Aquadome 7.
Aquadome 7?
Yeah. And you know what's cool about this? It came with a full-scale submarine, almost on par with the one you could buy separately.
Yeah, and it has the little sitting pad over there for it as well.
Yeah, you can dock it right here.
Now, the coolest thing about this whole Aquanauts scenario is, like, when you're looking at the base, all of the cranes and all of the pods and all of these things, they all move based on a propeller.
Yep.
Like, they all have propellers on them to, like, change the the rotation of the crane or lift the dome off of the little side command center over there.
It's full
It's
of
a nice touch.
There we go. Yeah, I think it kind of explains how it works here. You can't really see it too much, but there's even a conveyor belt that runs the crystals along into the boxes.
Yeah. Pretty rad. Not a whole lot of parts. Not a whole lot of parts, but so effective.
No, like amazingly effective because you turn that thing around. I remember getting this, dude. So BritCon in Seattle, first year I ever went, me and my brother bought this set sealed for $80.
Dang.
Yeah. And of course we opened it. But I mean, why not? I mean, that's why we bought it. But
yeah, of course.
What was the 7 for? That's a good question. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by ABC Builds question. But there's 7 jumping out all over the place because the Sea-Claw 7, the Aquadome 7, and then Drew had another release name for the other set with a 7 in it. So it must have referred to something inside the theme. I just don't know what it was, unfortunately. But no, going back to this, man, when you built this thing, yeah, the base plate really serves to build it up just like a Lego castle, give it that real body. But man, you turn the thing around and all the mechanics inside are so cool. And you can take, like you said, you take the claw, you can drop the crystals into the little conveyor belt, you turn the crank or the propeller, like you said, and it drops them into the boxes and like kind of sorts them out. And like, it's this whole little factory that processes crystals. It's the coolest thing ever.
So did you ever put your Aquazone in a fish tank?
I did not. No.
I did.
Yeah. How did that work?
Not well.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, that's committing. You're committed to it.
I was like, this is so cool. I'm gonna put it in the fish tank and I'm gonna play with it. And then I was like, I played with it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, I'm all wet. This is not gonna work. I can't play with it like I want to play with it.
Yeah. Kind of tried to keep floating up a little bit.
Yeah, and I didn't do it the way you were supposed to do it with like the air, you know, it pushes the air out of the water or whatever, so that little air bubbles don't get attached to everything. So like in like 2.5 hours, like there's air bubbles on all of everything. So like it didn't even look
Sure.
like it should have.
Yeah, you were experimenting though, and you learned some things, I'm sure.
I was. I tried it again with the divers when they came out.
Oh, so you didn't quite learn as much as you should have. That's a fun story, though. You know, I have another cool story about this set too. Back in the day, and we have an undersea naval museum in our town because we live next to a couple Navy bases. We live next to a submarine base, and we live next to a Navy base. And so, if you drive out that way, they have a museum a little farther north from here. And in the lobby, under a glass box, they had this set fully displayed in all its glory. And as a kid, I wanted to go to the museum mostly just to look at that Lego set.
That's pretty cool, man.
Isn't that dope? And I was excited to bring Archer, my kid, there when he was like 6, maybe 5, because I was hoping they still had it in the lobby. And we roll in because the museum's still open, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the museum. So it got removed at some point. But it was a memory that stuck with me as a kid all throughout my whole life. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool story, but great set. And I mean, yeah, the fact it was displayed in a naval undersea museum was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is. That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of random.
Yeah, it's super random. But you know, that I always, as a kid, you know, as a fan of Lego as a kid, you have like that that sensor, that radar. You're always picking up where Lego's showing up, whether that, especially in places where you don't see it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thrift shops, you're always pinging, looking, you know, anything. So
Walmart, Kmart, Target.
Always fun to find a deal somewhere or find Lego where you don't expect to find it. So Mercro88 says trans light blue octopus is the goat of the sea. It goes around $80.
Yeah, and somebody said there's only 5 of them on Bricklink for sale right now.
What did it come in? Is it just like a prototype?
Somebody looked it up right after it was a set number. I didn't look it up.
Neptune Discovery Lab was the thing of beauty. Says Fooling with Bricks. The set is the goat. Says Drew. Just in time for the best part of the stream. That's the set there. Yeah, I'll bring it up again one more time because it's fun. But I gotta go. Opaque, dark, glow in the dark blue comes. Oh, set 8636. Only 5 for sale on Bricklink, like you said, huh? Going back to that weird octopus. Well,
what was the set number?
Set number 8636.
What was it? Agents?
Oh, so it's like a radioactive, like crazy supervillain octopus thing, huh?
Yeah. It was
Dang.
an agent set with the sub Deep Sea Quest.
That's crazy. Oh, the big sub?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, there you go. So that's a crazy piece that technically originated from this thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed because I don't buy that kind of stuff.
Right. I never got a hold of any of the agents either, so I didn't know it was there. I did know that it came on the 2009 Pirates wave in dark red.
They weren't driving Aston Martins in Agents, so I didn't feel that it fit the narrative properly.
Sure. Fair enough. Marty the Lego Party, welcome, my friend. He says, I put the Divers Lab set in my aquarium back in college.
See, he knew what was up. He had to try it too.
Yeah. You know, we didn't. Here's another story. We got a lot of stories tonight. So, speaking of water and Lego, what we did do is me and my brother used to play the old, like, side-scroll Oregon Trail game on PC. Right,
Oh
the
my
one
God.
you die from a snake.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude. That was
Isn't that the one like you'd have to play in detention at school?
yeah, yeah, that one. So we actually beat it as a kid, but regardless, we thought it was cool and we liked that. So we made these little like covered wagons, but we built like the whole covered part out of big white like bricks. It was very chunky, old school kid stuff. But we would, in the end of the game, you have to ford them across a river. And so we would put the wagons in the bathtub and they just sink and fall apart. And we're like, well, I guess we didn't make it on the Oregon Trail, guys.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
Jeez.
Marty says he's still got algae on all the white lab corner pieces. Yeah, that's what'll happen if you put it in the water.
Yeah. Must have left it in there for a while.
Drew says, yeah, he played the Oregon Trail at the school computer lab. That's awesome. All right, sorry. Okay, back to Discovery, Neptune Discovery Lab. Yeah, amazing. I mean, we kind of just talked about it, but it's so cool.
It is. I'm admiring an image of it.
Yeah, let me take a look at this alternative build on the back. This should have been a secondary set.
I agree.
Is that not?
You could have bought two of them and put that right next to it. That'd be
Isn't that
badass.
amazing? And then you got this wacky one, but oh, that one's pretty cool too. Buy three of them. Buy three of them. Connect them all together. Yeah, I can't believe we got it for basically, because I think that's retail, isn't it? Was it $80 retail?
No, I want to say it was like 60 bucks.
Let me pull it out.
It says it was 89.
Really?
Yeah, $89.
So some guy sold it to us for under retail, sealed in like 2000 something, 2010.
Well, you know, back in the day before Bricklink was up and eBay and Amazon and all that,
Yeah.
if you had an old toy, you sold it cheaper than you bought it.
Huh. Yeah. Well, so in this catalog, it says here it's at $99, but that's again still under retail for what we got it for. So that's really wild.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, made it happen, man. We still got that. I eventually got a hold. I didn't get many of these as a kid, but I eventually did finally get a hold of all of them. So I believe I have the complete series of Aquazone and Aqua Sharks sets. So I got it, man.
That's cool, man. I mean, I know I've got probably most of the parts, but I don't have the time right now to run through them at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew says so much sweet detail. Even the refuel ship featured from the crystals. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Let's talk about that for a second, and I'll talk a little bit more about the story because I did pull up a little bit of lore. Not a lot. There's not a lot on them, but yeah, they're searching for these crystals, which I assume are valuable due to being a power source of some sort.
They always are.
Yeah. So you can see here. Yeah, what a great detail. This is like how we were talking about Ice Planet with the correct gear to live on the ice world. This is consistent. You can put these crystals in the fuel station right here. And there's an actual fuel up spot that you can clip into.
Right there in the front.
There is, I don't think you can see it on here, but it's in the side here. It's just one of those little orange headlight bricks that you can put the gas fuel into on the submarine.
Which is super awesome.
It's just
a lot of thought out detail.
Yeah, that's exactly thought out detail.
Which is great, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, fantastic set and really solid alternative builds. 3 really, really cool bases, and then a little less cool but still cool wacky submarine. But yeah, all the alternative builds are really nice.
Yeah, they are.
I like this whole complex of like hoses back here, like it's pumping like power to some area.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have like, ton of money, buy 3 or 4 of those and build the whole world under there with just the Aquabase set.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it would be super cool. I mean, you could build something pretty cool with like 4 or 5 of those spaces.
Yeah, definitely.
Have a variety of the builds that were on the back. you know, all kind of clipped together, maybe stacked up, or, you know, somehow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think based on where we are due to time, we should
Yeah.
just touch base on the Aqua Sharks from '95.
Sure. Yeah.
Just finish off '95 in this video, and then we can jump into the next ones later on.
Hat's coming off, man. My ears are getting too hot. It's not as cold here anymore, so I might not be doing the hat every time.
Right. So in '95, you have four releases on the Aquanauts and 2 for the Aqua Sharks.
All right, hit me.
The Shark Scout 6115.
Okay.
Little tiny snowmobile printed front piece.
Yeah, I might have a picture of that. I might not. Let's see.
Pretty cool little set.
I have a picture of it in a comic strip based on Aquazone. I do not have a picture. Nice. I don't. Right here. Is that what we're talking about?
That's the one.
Yep. You can see him right there. There's the little snowmobile cone area, like vehicle-based piece with the Aqua Shark logo printed on it. I really love this set, and I like how they did the little runners along the side with just the circular one by one.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
It's really cool.
That just shows how versatile the Lego brick really is.
Yeah, and how much they were able to do, like how we were talking about Outback last week, how they developed a whole theme based on basically no new parts except for just a couple new prints.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a perfect example of how, you know, you didn't need 1,000 new pieces and 600 stickers to make a new faction or theme like they do now.
I know. It seems like they do an overhaul of design and production.
Yeah.
Pre Lego set now.
But yeah, like you said, those little circular pieces just along the side make a great little like.
It's a nice touch. It's a lovely touch. Very common. Those are very common pieces as well.
We'll take another look. You can't really see, but it's right there. It makes this really cool little buffer, like base piece. Almost looks like maybe an inflatable bumper on the sides there or something like that.
Yeah, something that holds air in it.
It's cool. It's a good little set.
Yeah, very cool.
You get one of the Aqua Shark guys in it. More of the, looks like more of the torpedoes. And they have a great color scheme, black and red with a little accent of yellow. Well, on the suit. There's an accent of yellow on the suit. There's not really much on the sets.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the sets were the trans orange and black and blue.
Yeah, good color scheme, though, man.
Yeah, it looks nice. And then the 6155 Deep Sea Predator. I loved this set.
Is that the mid-scale shark set?
Yeah, that's the one that's right below that set in the comic book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll pull up an actual photo, though, because I have one. We don't need to look at the comic strip for this one. If I can find the photo here.
Got 3 printed pieces with the Aqua Sharks on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that front shark piece, which is super, super dope. You got that fin on top, and then the back.
Yeah, the fin
what do
there.
You call that piece? It's like it's a windscreen, but
yeah, it's a black windscreen.
It's a black one with print.
Yeah, you can kind of see the functionality here. There's little compartments back here to put like the box with the crystal in it and stuff like that. It's like your quintessential like fighter jet for the sea.
It is. It's pretty gnarly.
I could see like a scene with like, you know, they're chasing them and whatever, and then they like come up over the ridge and there's like 20 or 30 of them coming in formation. Just
this is one where it would be a fleet of them.
Yeah,
like 15 of them just like scooting in.
Yeah, coming in, dropping in.
Something else too that I love. I mean, aside from the Lego trains, right?
Yeah,
we had some magnet use, the same typical magnet use in all the space sets. The trains use the same magnet. The Aqua Sharks, the Aquazone, they all use the same magnets. It was a great continuation of another theme that could use magnet. Mm-hmm. You know, the magnet mechanics. You know, in the builds. which is kind of cool because I have noticed that on Bricklink those are kind of rare now, and they're kind of expensive for what they are. I mean, there's some Bricklink sellers selling them for like $5 a piece.
Sure.
Just the little magnet with the plastic cup
Yeah.
with the little knobs that stick off the side.
Yeah. Yeah. The magnet technology in the 90s was really cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
Really implemented well. I mean, they even implemented some of it in Johnny Thunder in the temple when you spin the thing in the background and it catches the ruby. What a great little feature.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, it's so, you know, they did a good job using those in a lot of different areas. I like the use here on the brand new jointed arm pieces for this theme. Makes it very versatile because you can move it anywhere and then pick up all the little boxes with it. It's great.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah.
Haven't we talked about those arm pieces before? They kind of came in. They were used heavily for a minute, and then they stopped using them altogether.
Yes, R.R. Slugger, when we were talking about Arctic, said that was one of the last appearances of that type of joint. You can see it right here, the little one right there. Yeah, they used them on Arctic, and this is kind of the last appearance of those jointed arm pieces. They're very much like friction based. I did have a few break on me because they are really tight.
That's right. I remember you saying that. Yeah,
they're not like the most Finch efficient way necessarily, but I do love them, especially for the nostalgia feature.
Well, they work good on these. They work good in this theme,
and they were introduced in this theme. So
they look nice.
And it's really cool they did these type of pieces in the trans neon orange, because that's a very technical piece.
It is. It's a very technical piece, and you can use it for Arctic or Ice Planet or I mean, there's a lot of different things now that use the trans neon orange.
Yes.
That was probably the trans neon orange, the actual neon orange that would glow in the blacklight as well.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the period that
is. Yeah, I bet you the Aqua Sharks would look fantastic under a black light.
Were they in classic space?
The arms? Yes.
What
Never
year?
mind. You're totally wrong. Yeah, they had them in light gray on all those wacky walkers and stuff.
I didn't say that. You did.
Dude, no. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I was totally wrong. I thought they were introduced in this. Totally wrong. They actually work a little better in the classic color. I don't know what was up with the Aquazone ones. Maybe it was some of the trans parts mixed into it. But the arms in classic space, because I have a couple of them, they work really well. And now that we're talking about it, because I was totally off on that, they are also in those weird homemaker Lego sets where the brick built people and the funky arms.
Oh, I don't like any of that stuff.
I know, they're weird, but they did use that type of technology on those as well. So I was totally off on that. Sorry.
But yeah, the arm piece is cool. I like how it's connected with the you got the one where you can put the Technic pin on the one side.
Yeah, that's such a functional piece, man.
Yeah,
that
it is. Very versatile.
Yeah, I really like that one. I love the does the Aqua Shark, I don't know if the Aqua Sharks come with any working compasses, but the Aquazone did. I think we mentioned that. But yeah, I just saw another picture of them. That's so cool.
Yeah, the Crystal Explorer sub has the compass.
Yeah, and I think C-Claw 7 might have one too. And there's one on the Discovery Lab.
Yep, C-Claw 7 has one.
Nice. Sorry, we're getting sidetracked, but yeah, that was
the Neptune Discovery Lab has one on the sub.
Yes. Yeah, great parts selection for this, man. I have a list of new pieces that came out on this. We might have covered most of them, but we can go over that when we're finished up here on the Aqua Sharks. Just to see if we missed any. Yeah, so moving on from that one, what do we got coming up?
That's it for 95, man.
Okay. Oh, that's 95. Yeah, okay. So we're jumping into 96 then.
Yeah, or we can push it. We can push it to another time.
Okay.
There's like 6 or 7 sets in there.
In '96 for Aquazone?
Yep. Yep. Well,
Oh,
I mean, Aquazone and Aqua Sharks.
okay.
I mean, both.
Sure. I mean, if you want to, I'm fine with that. We can totally jump on do a second live stream with Aquanauts and
Yeah.
Aqua Sharks.
I would have to say the first 2 years was the 2 years of the primaries.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I like parts of some of the other themes that kind of spin off of this or add to it. I like some of the minifigures, especially in some of them. But I think as a theme, the first 2 years with the yellow submarine guys,
Yeah.
Aqua, and
Definitely.
then the sharks. That's solid, and all the designs are solid. The designs start going a little wonky in some of the later themes, but not to say there's not some really cool stuff they come in too. And I think if you had all of it, that's the best. Like if you could get all of the Aqua stuff, I think they're all worth kind of having. But these ones are the best ones, I think. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think I'll probably dial in on the 95 and 96 sets when it comes time to start putting these together.
Yeah.
In parts. I think I'll put together the first 2 years and just kind of keep them built and safe until I have the space to build a nice display for them.
Yeah, I like that. These ones would be the ones to focus on for sure. Well, yeah. So let me talk about a little bit about the backstory. We'll go over the minifigs, and then we'll talk a little tiny bit about the spinoffs, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. The Aquanauts, they were undersea, from what I gathered, miners, right? Which is kind of obvious from their station and such. They were mining for control of the crystal mines, is what they mentioned. So there was apparently some crystal mines underwater that they were kind of fighting with the Aqua Sharks about. The crystals themselves were called hydrolator crystals. So that's the little chrome crystal pieces. At least this is stuff I pulled off the internet, but that's what I gathered from the backstory. The minifigures, here's a kind of an interesting thing. These were actually classified, so there was different classes, I guess, of the figure. The green guy with the guy with the green lenses, right? He was considered the diver in all of the themes or all of the sets. The guy with the little mic and the hair, yeah, he was the technician. And then the captain, we had already mentioned, was the guy with the red bandana and the little logo on the forehead. Yeah. Apparently,
I think the little hair and the mic.
Yeah.
Was also one of the Space Police in Space Police 2.
He may have been, as well as showing up in Explorians, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
We'd have to look into that. The captain or commander was named Jacques Clouseau.
Of course.
From Aquanauts, and the Aqua Sharks leader was named Thresher. So they did have a couple names, which I didn't even know. So that's cool.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah. Good names. I mean, especially for the Aqua Shark guy. That's a perfect name for an Aqua Shark undersea villain.
Thresher.
Yeah. When we talk a little bit more about Aqua Sharks next time we talk about this theme, we need to talk about how it kind of represents a little bit of the Nautilus from that old 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie. It's got those vibes.
Yeah, it does kind of.
Which I really like. I really like the shape of that. So, and then moving forward into the years, we had a bunch of other sets. I won't do them in order, but we had the Aqua Raiders, the Hydronauts, the Aqua Sharks, which we talked a little bit about, the Stingrays, which were like straight up mutants who lived underwater. Atlantis came out in 2011, which I think it had the spirit of Aqua. It just didn't quite do it the same. It had it was really focused on more Ninjago looking type creatures and things like that. And then it was
a pretty cool theme, but it got a little wacky towards the end.
I have I think most of the sets actually, because I went on a bender and tried to find them all 3 years ago. And there are some very cool sets. There's a portal set and a big city underwater, which is pretty sick. Yeah. So I dig that. And then not including Alpha Team Underwater, because I just thought of that one right now. I didn't add it to the list, but that's more Alpha Team than Aqua. But Aqua Raiders in 2007, which was closer to divers. It was more human, looked like city almost divers going down deep underwater and fighting giant brick-built creatures. And then the Divers from 1999, which is one of my favorite themes.
Yeah, I love the Divers.
They had some really cool similarities, but definitely more of a grounded in reality theme. And I think that's when they introduced manta rays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
sure.
cool. But yeah, so those were some of these factions or themes that were very much influenced and inspired by this first wave of underwater sets. And on a side note, some of the parts from Aquazone show up in time cruisers, which doesn't really matter because so does everything else.
Yeah, I mean, Magisto shows up in Time Travelers.
Right.
Time cruisers.
I just thought it was funny for some reason that was listed as like, oh, things about Aquazone. I'm like, dude, it's like one of their helmets in their little time bubble thing. Like, I don't really, like, that's not that interesting. But I had to throw it in here because I was running out of stuff. And you know what's interesting about this is nothing from Aquazone was featured in the LEGO Racers game. And I always bring that up because this is the exact time frame where all of that stuff was featured in that game. But they were left out. So that's kind of
they just said no to it.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're not going to be part of that. I think it would have been cool, though, to have a track where you start out and it just dips instantly down into like an under glass, like racetrack where you're going underwater and you see all the submarines and stuff.
So my thought on this before we go is, what's the story above water? Like, there's a theme here. They're hunting the crystals. I got that. But they're obviously, like, human, right?
Yeah.
So what's on the surface? So what's going on? Was it, like, nuclear war and now everybody's underwater? And they're looking for, like...
Yeah.
Who's got that information? Has somebody created anything?
Well, yeah. So that's actually a fun idea. Yeah. That'd be cool to look into, seeing if there's any fan-like lore that has been created around that. I traditionally thought, yeah, that it's our planet, something either they're funded by big corporations that are down there and there's the big boss and the other boss and they've got their aquanauts down there fighting each other trying to get control of a new energy source. But
if that was the case, if that storyline happened, then they could go right along with City, but they'd be like the A-team of underwater.
Right. Which is cool. Here's another thought, though. Rock Raiders wasn't even on our planet. Our Aquazone, is this underneath the Explorian planet? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, is it another planet? Is it a water world?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, did Earth completely get covered in water and we adapted quick enough to get underneath before it was too late?
So many things, so many holes, so many empty storylines.
Yeah. So much room for, like, and that's, I think, great. That's, again, how we always kind of talk about in most of these live streams when we're covering old LEGO themes like this. That is what still draws us back to this, is what we experienced as kids building one of these or looking at one of these. The possibilities just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You could go, like we just covered, what, three or four different topics that these guys could be involved with for backstory? Yeah. That's the stuff we literally, like, came up with as we're talking right now. Like, yeah, it's sad to not see that in some of the new stuff. You know, now it's like Lego stunt bikes, which is actually kind of cool, but, like, that's what we got. We got Lego stunts, and, like, that's it.
And, yeah, I mean, the only thing, really, that Lego has put out with, like, it seems like an endless storyline that isn't licensed is Ninjago.
Yeah, but again, Lego didn't tie you to their storyline in the 90s. You are tied to Ninjago's storyline today. That's the lore. Yeah. You don't make it up. You watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Here, they gave you an inspirational comic that's 2 pages wide and some backstory like, the Aquanauts are doing this, blah, 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 blah. Will you decide the future? And that was it, man. And we decided the future.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was like that with all of the early '90s and mid '90s themes.
yeah. Well,
But
I
that's
think
what
it
I'm
goes back.
saying. The sad thing is the only storyline that they actually have kept and roll with is the Ninjago.
Yeah,
Can we like maybe just like roll that back a little bit and imagine what that would be like if there was a castle TV show
yeah,
and we had like 4 or 5 knights that we were following around?
that'd be cool. Yeah, I'd
That'd be
like to see something
dope.
like that. Yeah, I mean, I think we have to realize, and like I think Crystal mentioned earlier, kids have no idea, how it used to be. And unfortunately, I think Lego's not completely off the rails when they come to marketing to kids. I think they've had a couple really bad misses recently, but like, I don't know that kids are the same. They don't experience things the same way. They're raised completely differently now, and so maybe that stuff doesn't appeal to kids anymore. I don't know. That same train of thought, though, you could kind of flip it on its side and say, you know, do we really change that much? We're humans. We enjoyed it as kids. They could too. Like, I don't know. It's what you're
Right.
exposed to, right? I guess. So that's a topic for thought. Something to think about. For people. Yeah. Would this be something that kids would like? My son does enjoy looking at some of these old things and really does seem to be inspired by some of that, but he also loves some of the newer stuff and looking at some of that too. So, I
Yeah,
don't,
that's cool.
yeah, it's something to think about for sure. Let's see. Drew says, push it and combine the next wave with transgreen. I was just talking to him on Messenger or whatever on Instagram about the transgreen stuff. He loves that color. It's such a good color.
It is.
Yeah, and we don't get much of it. We never did actually.
No, not
Didn't it
really.
mostly on Space Police 2, I think, was where most of that came in. And I think there's some transgreen on Aqua Raiders.
Yeah. One of them has transgreen in it.
I think one of them has. Doesn't the main base have 2 transgreen domes, like the big ones?
It might.
I think it does because I think I have a video on YouTube about that. So I should probably know, but
You should know then.
it was like 2.5 years ago or something like that. So, but yeah, man, that's been another episode of Let's Talk About Lego.
Yeah.
Aquazone edition. Mustache Brandon jumped in, or somebody jumped it in and asked us to do a second one because he missed this one. So we'll probably dig back into Aquazone again.
Yeah, well, we've got the 96 sets to talk about, so we can kind of tie back to 95.
Sure. And if that doesn't feel like enough material, we could lump in one of the tiny little sub themes that came out with like 3 sets or something like that. So yeah, I'm fine with that. But yeah, man, fooling with bricks. We used our imagination more in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, I think we are more spoon-fed
Yeah,
today.
that's kind of why there's more creative people that are my age and whatnot like now than there are coming out. I mean, because the kids these days, like there's no imagination at all, none.
I think there is. It's just not being tapped. I think back in the 90s and some of that, I think companies still felt like they were obligated to provide at least some sort of value to what they were providing kids, because parents, I think, were a little more on top of that back in the day. So they're like, look, I don't want my kid watching, TV all day. So there's other things they would provide. And yeah, I think they would provide an educational element or something else that was learning or creative. And now nobody cares. It's a heyday now. So I think that kids can still be as creative as we were in the 90s. It's just we're not training them to be. So I don't know.
That may be the case.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your social commentary for the night. That's been another episode of Let's Talk About Lego.
So
right.
I don't know what we're going to talk about next week yet.
That's fine. Yeah. We'll just stay.
But we will be talking about upcoming videos in like say the next 2 months. Paradisa.
Okay. Yeah.
The Hobbit.
Yes.
More pirates.
Yeah, I just was
more
looking
pirates
through.
to go.
Yeah, I was looking through. There's at least another probably 2 episodes left on pirates.
Yeah, and then somewhere in there we need to start sprinkling in some of that classic city.
Yes. Yeah, you can see the that set. I always forget the name. You know the name.
It's the Sail and Fly Marina, man.
Is it on the? It's the. Oh, I was gonna say if it was on a sign, I would be so dumb. It just says
No,
the
it's just on the sign. It's just a yacht.
yeah, a little club sign. But
Yeah,
yeah, Sail and Fly Marina. I would love to talk about these. The leisure line of cities, so cool.
dude, I love that. There was so many city sets that I loved back in the day. Just to name a few: the Dark Shark, the Coastal Cutter boat, the Sail and Fly Marina.
Yeah,
All of the cargo sets with the
all
ships.
the dock sets. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Marty,
love
I know we were signing off. Yeah, Marty the Lego Party says love the Andy Rooney sign offs. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, we're still talking, but whatever. Oh man, yeah. So we got. I mean, there is still
tons and tons of stuff to talk about.
Yes, and I mean, I'm gonna look back at some of those other castle things too, and we might dig into those again. But until then, we have more than enough material to keep going. So,
Indeed,
all right.
castle will come back around.
Yeah, it always does. That's what we're here for.
All right, man. Well, everybody, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Look forward to talking to you again next week, Jason.
Sounds
topic
good.
is still up in the air.
No worries.
But,
yeah. Thanks for all the participation, guys, in the comments. Thanks, Harris Bricks. Sorry about the confusion earlier. Again, go check out his stuff. He's a fun.
Yeah, good builder. Great
Um,
stuff coming out of him. Love that. I'm excited to see what kind of base he's going to put on top of that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, thanks, guys. I better get back to work. You do that, sir.
Me too.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
See you,
Really
man.
appreciate it. Take it easy.